Hello, I'm Jeffrey Hamelman from King Arthur Flour, and today I'm going to show you how to assemble a double crust apple pie using pâte brisée. So here I've got one of our shells just pulled from refrigeration. I'm going to fill it with an apple filling, which is sliced apples, some flour, sugar, nutmeg, and cinnamon. And here's my top crust. Earlier, when we were rolling these out, I mentioned that it is possible to flute a double-crusted pie, even using that technique where we're scraping off the scrap from the side of the shells. And here's how we do that. I'll drape the top crust over and make sure that it's amply covering the outer perimeter. And then I'm going to put it underneath the bottom so that the juices stay in the pie instead of dribbling out. So now that I've integrated the top crust into the bottom crust, I'll start fluting it by having two fingers on one hand like this, and then the thumb of the other hand coming in and pressing into that hollow space. I walk all the way around. This is also going to make the two separate crust pieces adhere to each other, as well as, of course, it's going to give it a nice decorative handmade look. When I've gotten all the way around, the next step is to apply a little bit of milk to the surface. We want to have a brush that's been wiped almost completely dry, and then we use that to brush the whole top surface of the crust. The reason we want the brush to be pretty dry is because if there's too much milk, it'll dribble down and fill in the hollows where the fluting took place, and that's not going to look good. The color in that portion of the pie will be a little bit darker. Once we've brushed it, we're going to take some sparkling sugar. This is optional, but I think it gives it a nice little bit of a shine. Plus, if we think about it, there is no sugar in the pie dough, so just having that little touch of sweetness can be pretty favorable. So you can use regular granulated sugar. In our case, we're using sparkling sugar, a little bit coarser sugar, and we sprinkle that over the top. Once that's done, take a paring knife and make a few incisions. That'll help some of the steam escape, which in turn will give your crust a little bit more crustiness. There. And when that's done, we're ready for the bake. This will bake at about 420 Fahrenheit for, put it in for anyway 15 minutes at that temperature, and then you can lower the temperature and have a slightly receding oven for the rest of the bake. It's going to bake probably for about 40 minutes before it's done. Since there's a lot of butter in the crust will take on some really luxurious color. If it's too pale when it comes out, it's probably going to taste a little bit gummy. So we want to give it a nice full bake so that we get the maximum flavor.